sure I got it. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I got it. Now we're ready. Now I felt it drop in. We got something. Oh, no way. Okay, we got it. We got it. Okay, here goes. Oh, yeah. Look at this. Well, there's no pins on the inside of the door like I thought there was going to be. You're all witnessing this for the first time. Let me get the light on here. I thought there was going to be pins on the inside, which is one of the main reasons we didn't try to break out these pins over here, because I thought there's going to be some of these inside here. But all we've got, CP Rail, Bill Porter envelopes. Oh, something's in here though. There's something in the envelopes. Hold this. Hang on, let me turn off the light. I'm officially a safe cracker. What do we got here? We've got program personnel.
What we have here in the Red Emmas Bookstore is a humongous safe that has been here since the 1920s on this particular property. In the midst of our renovations of the property the past couple of years, there was this friend right here. And as you can see, it's big and it's heavy. We honestly have no idea what's in there. We've been guessing among ourselves what might be in there, making up some silly, fun answers, but we don't really know what's in there. So if there's anybody who's got the safe cracking skills or special abilities, anything like that, we want you to try and come and see if you can get in it. But the other stipulations that if it's something that's like just totally gross or disgusting or way out, the person can take it off. We don't even want it.
Red Emmas, a hobbyist safecracker in Canada, has crowdfunded an effort to come down and try his sleight of hand on this style. So any local treasure hunters out there, you better get in quick if you want to try your luck.
It's not something that's burning a hole in us so much that we have to get the professional locksmiths over here right now. It's fun to see the community come and take a try at it.
So I just made a decision. We're going to bring the stethoscope just in case those contact points are super quiet, if it's a group 2 lock. And I'm also going to bring my one that I made. It's basically a stick-on guitar microphone that I can hook up to my cell phone, and I can see any noise as a waveform. So you can see the spikes from the contact point versus the wheel turning. So I'm going to bring all of the tools I can possibly bring to make this a success. So we're probably not going to use either of these, but we've got them just in case things don't work out. Our safe cracking bag is ready to go for tomorrow's departure. I'm pretty sure everything will be let through on the American side. It is the Canadian side that I'm not sure if they're going to let my lockpicks through or not. The American TSA website says specifically that lockpicks are allowed. The Canadian website, I'm hoping that I can get through under the tools declaration of that. So we'll see tomorrow what happens, because I need those lockpicks in order to pick the lever lock that is going to be behind the 2 doors of the safe. With any luck, the key is in it, but if it's not, we'll have to impression a key or pick the lock or something. There is a guy on Facebook Marketplace that has a lockpick set for sale in Baltimore, so I may have to do that. So we always have a backup plan. There's never a situation where all hope is lost. So stay tuned, we'll figure out what's happening next.
Securely stowed either under the seat in front of you or in an overhead bin.
We are finally leaving Winnipeg, headed for Calgary,
Please ensure that personal electronic devices are
on the way to Baltimore.
Thank you.
I have a feeling I have to jump on a shuttle to get to gate D. This should be interesting. Or do I just walk? Do I just walk to gate D? Uh-oh, I have to ask one of these guys. Hold on, I'll be right back. I have to look at my phone. This is where we insert the 1 hour later sound. Perfect, thank you for the ride, boss. Awesome. We have arrived at gate D.
The baggage claim ground transportation station elevators are out of service. The station is still open. However, if you need an elevator to access the baggage claim ground transportation, please exit at T gates.
We have finally arrived 12 hours later in Baltimore. Now I gotta find a way out of here and figure out how I'm getting to the bookstore. It's gonna be by bus for sure. Good news and bad news. Good news is I found the bus I gotta catch. Bad news is it's gonna take me about an hour, so we're just gonna have to roll with it. On our way to Red Emmas Bookstore to open a safe. Let's do it. Well, as luck would have it, I grabbed the wrong train, and it looks like we're going for a bit of a ride until the next stop. All I can say is, oops. So I had a few people warn me about Baltimore, saying it's not a very good city, but look at this. This place is gorgeous. It's old but gorgeous. I think some people lost their mind. Okay, I think we're getting close. It feels like I've been walking forever because it's plus 30 Celsius outside. I don't know what that is in Fahrenheit. You guys do the math on that, but I think it should be this building here.
Turn right onto Greenmount Avenue, then your destination will be on the right.
As Google just told me, I don't know if you heard that or not, but Google is yelling at me as to where it is. Look at this here. Here it is. We made it, guys and gals. We made it. There she is. Now we'll find the entrance somewhere here. Red Emmas Coffee House. We made it. It's 14 hours, but we did it. Okay, let's go inside and see if... So, it looks like this is the bookstore side. So let's go in here and see what happens. All right. Oh. I recognize you, I think, from the video about the safe.
Oh, yes.
How's it going? I'm all sweaty because I walked
That's all right. That's all right. Welcome. Tell me your name one more time.
Rick.
Rick. I've
Rick.
been hearing it since.
Good? Yeah.
Rick, and what's your last name again?
Amazzini.
Rick Amazzini.
Yeah.
Yeah, fantastic. Yeah, I am Ken Brown, but you actually probably remember the name Analysis.
Yeah, that's what I am. So I'm just
filming.
filming just for my little documentary we're doing. Nothing important, just because I promised the boys at home I'd have a video of everything that's going on.
Okay,
Have a
fantastic.
video every little thing that happens.
Well, let me,
Even the wrong train I took.
so
We look at the hinges first to make sure that if I get it open, that door is not going to fall. If I pull it open and it starts to fall, we're done. So I have just a little feeler gauge, so I am very confident that these doors are good. We're not going to have any problems with this at all. That's 1. That's 2. That's 3. And nothing. Nothing. We only have 3 wheels. There it is. No, it's not it. I realized here that something was happening with the wheel pack because it kept getting stuck. I tried to jiggle the dial to get the wheel pack unstuck, but jiggling the handle back and forth seemed to put everything back in place. That's when I started to really understand that I think there's something wrong with the lock. This one is tricky, boys and girls. I'm looking for these 2 sounds. I haven't been able to find it yet. So I'm trying to coax it out of its hiding spot. I think I found it. Oh, is she light? She is a light touch. These are my big guns. There's noise in the lock. I have to listen and I have to break through the noise that is not what I'm listening for and filter that out on the fly and listen for what I need to. Yeah, I found you. I found her. She's very quiet though. I don't think I got it. This is offset to a gear, and then that gear turns the wheels. So I'm having trouble breaking through the noise, but we'll get it. And that's that 31 again. No. I'm gonna start at 36. I can't feel you. Yeah, we're keeping 45. I'm gonna go back 2 steps. That's where it is. So after leaving the bookstore on the first day, I was a little bit discouraged because it was taking so long and I didn't have any concrete numbers. I had some suspicions, but nothing that was concrete. I was getting a pretty good feel for the lock though, so that was good news because I could feel the wheels trying to pass each other and get stuck instead of catching each other. So I was getting pretty good at resetting that and forcing the wheels to get back together. But it was still causing me some troubles because it was taking up time. I would basically have to I would have to interrupt what I was doing, and then I would have to spend about a minute to 2 minutes trying to get those wheels unstuck from each other and get the dial to turn properly. When I got back to the place I was staying that night, I got onto Discord and started talking with everybody about what was happening, and then all of the information started coming in, and I was starting to feel a lot better and actually pretty confident that my first suspicion was right, that the wheels were getting stuck together, and I had to sort of work through that in order to make things happen for me. If it wasn't for the Discord group and the guys sort of encouraging me and giving me the information I needed, I don't know if this all would have ended the way it did, because it was getting pretty discouraging the whole day that I was there. And so now we're in a situation where tomorrow we're going to start fresh. We're going to take everything one step at a time with this new knowledge that we have, and starting to think it's all going to come together. The next morning I was in contact with the news crew, and I had told them that I would contact them when I had 2 numbers so that they could come down instead of spending all day staring at me, which I think might have been a little nerve-wracking the first day. The second day was pretty much like the first day, where not a lot of progress was happening until a little bit later, when things started to sort of go in my favor. Basically what was happening was that right contact point started to grab a little bit more aggressively, so we knew we were on the right track, and we just had to keep on pushing through and sort of understand that we were making progress, and we may have to come back tomorrow, and if that's what it took, then that's what we were going to do. So we just kept on plugging away for a few hours, taking breaks here and there. I think I even had lunch at one point. And then something interesting happened. We had made some major progress. I knew we had the first and the third number, and I had the range in where the second number was, because that dial was actually binding up when we got to the contact points. Now remember, we went from barely able to hear the contact point with the stethoscope to now it was actually binding up to the point where I had to force the dial to jump over that contact point. So I was super excited about what was happening. It was just a matter of time now. Okay, here's where we are so far. I did a whole bunch of work and I finally got some progress here. You notice here, nothing. That's where our contact point is. You can barely hear it. I had to use the stethoscope all day. So we've got some major progress here. We've got 48.5 or 49 in that neighborhood. Then we got anywhere between 20 and 40. 1, 2, I'll go to 32. And then we come here, we go to 20. Nothing. 19, nothing. 18, nothing. 17, nothing. 16, nothing. 15, nothing. 14, nothing. 13, restarting to feel some stuff here. 12, 11, it's grabbing a little bit, and now we almost to a full stop. I can actually get it to not turn. So we know we're almost there. I just got to figure out why she doesn't want to open and why I have such a wide range of possible numbers for the second wheel. So of course, as soon as they figured out that I was having some trouble, the Discord group started to give me some solutions. After jiggling the dial normally for quite a while, I decided to ramp up the violence with the dial and shake it and jiggle it as hard as possible. And then she finally fell in. And of course, the first people I told was the Discord group. Door opens. Door opens. Oh, she's crusty too. So, okay, so I'm gonna leave that like that. And nobody better. As I mentioned in this post, I probably would have had it open about 2 hours earlier if I had just gotten more aggressive with the jiggling. It probably would have opened up for me. I was being too gentle. Since I was in the zone and forgot to contact the news when I had 2 numbers, we decided we're just going to secure it for the night and wait till tomorrow. And I promise you we didn't look in. So now we moved on to the next important thing. How are we going to watch this on the news since everybody in the group is from different parts of the world? So that was the rest of the discussion of the day. So after all was said and done, I became less interested in what was in the safe and more interested in what was wrong with that lock that kept me out for so long. It usually doesn't take this long.
In the past month or so, especially among the staff and even amongst the various supporters, having fun guessing what's in here. Now we realize that in all probability there's nothing here.
That's usually the case.
But the fact that this is a 1920s era safe has had us daydream about everything from a nice, 100-year-old bottle of scotch from the Prohibition era to, in my own desire, I would love for some of Emma Goldman's correspondence, especially from the time in Baltimore and moving about, to be in here. And we've had a few folk kind of be on guard and be ready in case like the evil spirits of capitalist oppressors are getting ready to pop out on us, because they were sealed, of course, this whole time. So be ready in case we have to fight the evil ghosts of racist, capitalists, heterosexist, classist oppressors and that type of thing. But we're gonna get into this because I want to see what happens, and so do you. So,
Let's bring it back to
on behalf of the entire Red Emmas Bookstore Coffee House worker-owned collective.
Oh, you can leave that, okay.
All right. Which one? So I'm coming with this one? All right.
Should be ready to go.
Ready to go. Let me pop this way so everybody can see it. And here we go. My goodness.
And the other door should open the same.
How about that?
Lift those either one or two ways.
Look at that. So what we have here, fortunately we don't have a second door to go through.
That's good.
All right, that's the good news. And apparently we have cupboards. This is used.
As soon as I pulled that wheel pack out from the door and saw the retaining ring and the washer left behind, everything made sense. That why I was only feeling one wheel getting carried at times, and other times why the wheel was trying to pass the other wheel, making the dial stiff. I forgot to take a video of the lock operation while I was there, but I did find a lock that is built kind of the same, a Mosler lock, that will give us a pretty good indication of what was happening with the lock. Check this out. Okay guys, so in a normal lock, when you turn the wheel, they turn separately and they catch each other. Oh, this is very stiff. Yeah, this has to get cleaned. That is way, way too stiff. So I'm going to take the retaining ring off and we're going to show you what happened with the safe in Baltimore, why we had trouble. So, we'll take the retaining ring off here. And it's a little stuck, so it might not do what I want it to do, but... So without this retaining ring here, we can see what happens when this guy moves out just a little bit. See how it doesn't catch the other wheel? How it just turns freely? That's why we were having trouble. Because the retaining ring was gone, and this wheel was just allowed to pass without catching the other ones. So what I had to do was I had to keep banging on the door to get this guy to come back and then start to catch again. And then eventually it would come loose again and it would not catch again. That's why it took us 10 hours. We want this. And what we were getting was this here, where this last wheel just kept on turning. When that retaining ring is in, everybody's kept close together and happy. Without that retaining ring, this wheel just turns by itself. All right. If you look closely, you can see how aggressively it grabs when we do have the right combination. That's what I was feeling yesterday. Total dial stoppage, but it wouldn't go in all the way. I don't know what was stopping it, but now it works perfectly. There it is. No, it's not it. A lot of times you're doing it wrong. This one is tricky, boys and girls. I'm looking for these two sounds. You hear the lever drop into the cam, and then you feel that big clunk, and you're like, there it is. It's a combination of feel and hearing and seeing. I'm looking at the dial and I'm looking for changes in the wheels. That you have to know what you're looking for. Not only what you're looking for, you have to know which wheel that changed. There's 3 or 4 wheels in there. Which wheel had the change? So now you have to isolate them to find out which one had the change.
How locked in do you get?
Very,
Locked.
very. Sometimes you don't know that 6 hours has gone by. We look at the hinges first to make sure that if I get it open, that door is not going to fall. There's no stopping that door. That door is probably 300 pounds. If I pull it open and it starts to fall, we're done. So far, I see everything is good. Nothing looks out of place here. I'm going to check from the top, and then I'm going to measure in here. I have a feeler gauge. I'm going to measure in here to see if the door is sagging at all. And that if we get it open, we might have to give it some pull. We may think it's still locked. Meanwhile, it's just sagged a bit and it's harder to pull. So these are all the things you have to kind of put together before you even open it. Then we have to figure out what kind of lock do we have. Here's the other thing. Once we get these doors open, I got a very good hunch there's 2 more doors in there that are locked. Usually the key is in there. If the key is not in there, now I have to pick that lock that is in there. Now, after I pick the lock, I have to make him a key. I can't leave here without a key. I have to sit there with a file, and I have to file a key. So that's the beauty. You don't know what you're getting.
How old do you think this is?
Based on this, it's right around what he said, the 20s, maybe a touch earlier. So I'm very confident that these doors are good. We're not going to have any problems with this at all. Now we can move on to figuring out what kind of lock do we have. We need to know how many wheels we have. Do we have a 3-digit combination or a 4-digit combination? I can count the wheels. I'll tell you how many we have. If we listen closely here, that's 1, that's 2, that's 3, and nothing. Nothing. We only have 3 wheels. Only 3 wheels picked up. So now we know we have to use our technique that we use for 3 wheels. It's a 70 number dial. So a little bit easier. Because first thing I have to do is find our contact points. There it is. No, it's not it. This one is tricky, boys and girls. I'm looking for these 2 sounds. I haven't been able to find it yet. So I'm trying to coax it out of its hiding spot. I think I found it. Oh, is she light? She is a light touch. These are my big guns. There's noise in the lock. I have to listen and I have to break through the noise that is not what I'm listening for and filter that out on the fly and listen for what I need to hear. Yeah, I found you. I found her. She's very quiet though. Door opens. Door opens. Oh, she's crusty too.
We have had all kinds of fun guessing what's in here. So,
Don't let it spring back at you.
on behalf of the entire Red Emmas Bookstore Coffee House worker-owned collective, here we go. My goodness.
The other door should open the same.
How about that?
Flip the lever 1 or 2 ways.
Look at that. Apparently we have cupboards. This is used apparently as a storage space. We have a number of cupboards that could have been used for anything. What really interests me though, this antique looks like a jewelry drawer. This is interesting. I tell you what, let's find out if these are locked or not. Look at that. Look at that. This is classic antique stuff right here. Do I? No, wait a minute, I spoke too soon. Let's see what we have here. Name, Helen Davidson. Earnings, this actually is an employee's statement of earnings and deduction. Period ending 2/24, my goodness. This is a 1924 pay stub. And the net amount of the earnings for this pay period was $5.69. So that confirms, Rick, what we were thinking in terms of what decade and the dating of this. It was 1920s era. This has been absolutely amazing. It's been a fun journey, and I'm so glad that so many of you shared interest. The safe is fun, the bookstore is fun, the meals are fun, the events are fun, but it is all about enjoying ourselves, but learning and coming together as a community so that we can go and transform society.